Luke's birthday. Happy birthday! Say happy birthday! Night, and it's firmed up as well. Just a birthday wonderfulness. I need to just go and get ready. I am making a rich chocolate cake. These are some of the ingredients that you'll need for it, and I'll leave down below the recipe. I need 4 eggs, melted dark or plain or any chocolate. I've melted some chocolate, some self-raising flour, some golden syrup, cocoa powder, light brown sugar and dark brown sugar, although they sort of look quite similar. No, they don't look a bit different. And then some vanilla extract. I think that is it. Let's get baking. So the technique I always use is I put the butter and the sugar in together, and I usually whip up my butter and sugar. So this was the soft brown sugar and the dark brown sugar. Sometimes I forget to put my butter at room temperature, so whisking it before as well, giving it a good beating with the mixer also makes it a lot softer. So if you whisk your butter and sugar together, they will go from like a darkish brown colour to a beautiful pale whisked light fluffy texture and colour, as you'll see in here, where it transitions to, you can see it transition to a much lighter colour. So this normally takes a few minutes to get to this colour, so don't worry about it. You can't do anything wrong, you won't overbeat it. I'm now putting in my golden syrup. I'm just adding that, so you can see it's on a much slower speed. And then I've already beaten my eggs, so I'm adding in the 4 eggs into the mixture now. I'm doing it again nice and slow, and then I'm beating it a little bit faster. Be careful here because it could curdle. And what I mean by that, it could split, so it then looks a bit yucky. So technical term. So what you can do if it does do that, don't panic, just add some flour. I always sieve my flour. Top tip, always sieve your flour because it puts extra air into your mixture. Okay, so next up, oh my god, this chocolate smells amazing. Put the chocolate in. Oh, delicious. Any chocolate, you can use any chocolate, and give it a slow mix. You see I've got number 1, it's slow because you don't want to beat out all the air from the eggs and the flour and everything, so you want to put it slow. So you could actually at this point just do it by hand, beat everything in by hand, it's not a problem. I forgot the cocoa powder, so in goes my cocoa powder, and also the vanilla essence I had to put in as well. Okay, so after a minute or so, you'll start seeing the mixture come together. Look, So sometimes I stop here and I'll just give it a mix by hand, and then I'll just put it back through the mixer. Okay, so look at that consistency. That is perfect. It's not too runny, it's not too thick and stodgy. It's a nice light. I probably should need to be doing it like that actually. I should just be swishing it around gently. So I've lined my tin. I have a parchment paper in the bottom, and I just do butter and flour around the edges. My cakes never stick. They're perfectly fine. I know some people do those parchment paper and they bring them all up the sides. If you can do that, it's not a problem. But I just use the pre-cut bottom parchment paper, which you can get from anywhere, especially Amazon. I get mine from Lakeland, but you can get them from Tesco's, Asda if you're in the UK. So what I'm just doing there is spreading it all around and making sure that the top is lovely and even, and oh, it's so tempting at this point just to lick that all off. Yum. So I'm just giving it a little bit of shake, making sure it's even and flat so that when it bakes even throughout. Okay, so we're going to bake that at 140 Celsius for an hour, and then we're going to check it, and then we're going to continue baking for another 40 minutes. The cake is in the oven. Make sure I look at my teeth because I've been licking the mixture. Of course I lick the mixture. It's only a family cake, so I can lick the mixture. So 1 hour and 40. So 1 hour and 40 that's going to bake for. Nice and slow, nice and low. Low and slow. So catch you in a minute and you'll see it was so good. You guys are so lucky. You don't have to do all the cleaning up now. You just sit back and watch the end result, where I've got to do the cleaning now. And then we'll see what the cake looks like. It's looking good. Can't really see because my oven's is dirty, but it's looking good. Okay, ta-da! The cake is baked, and now we're gonna frost it with buttercream, and of course, it's gonna be chocolate, Cadbury's, dairy milk, buttercream. So let's get ready because I need to melt my delicious I need to melt the chocolate so that we can put it into the buttercream mixture. And you can see I use a whole bar. Oh my gosh, just whack it in there, and I just put it in the microwave, and I do the microwave like 10-15 seconds at a time. Move my pot to make sure it's not burning or sticking, and then put it back in again for 30 seconds. But just keep checking on it, don't get burnt chocolate. To make my fondant, my buttercream, I do icing sugar, butter, unsalted butter, the chocolate. I'm going to add a little bit more chocolate to this buttercream as well, you'll see in a minute, with some cocoa powder, and I also add some milk in to make sure that you get a nice smooth consistency. And just be aware, if you probably haven't done this, but if you haven't, icing sugar goes literally everywhere, so you might want a bit of cloth over the top, or the milk when I add it, just tiny little bit, so maybe like a couple of tablespoons, helps the icing sugar not go everywhere. And look, it's coming along lovely. This is a Cadbury's chocolate gorgeous cake. But it's not very thick, but because there's only a couple of us that are going to eat it, I didn't want to make a big massive birthday cake. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my cake dummies. So this is a cake dummy, it's made of polystyrene. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop him onto here, and then with my Cadbury's frosting, I'm going to frost the whole thing, so it makes it look like one big huge cake. It's an illusion, but yeah, so I have actually sliced this through the middle. I'm going to fondant it in here. It's a buttercream. This is buttercream, which you just saw in here with the chocolate. And then we're going to place it onto here. So let's get on with it. So straight away you can see how amazing that looks. It's got more height. It looks impressive. So we're going to take this tier off, this layer. We're going to fondant in the middle of it, and then put it back on, and then go around the edges. I score the cake so that I know where both ends are. So when I take it off, I know where the ends should meet up again. I've got a Lazy Susan, so I'm going to put this cake onto a Lazy Susan. Okay, which helps them with the frosting, because you can spin it round a lot easier. Can you see? So you can spin it round whilst you're smoothing out the buttercream, and then just put the top on and just make sure it's all lovely and even and straight, so it's looking good. Okay, so the next phase of my cake is we're going to decorate it. So I've got some of these cupcake toppers, which are really, really cool. So I'm going to mount them on fondant and figure a way out I'm going to put it on the cake. Now I might put these on lollipop sticks, I might attach them to cocktail sticks. I'm not sure, I just want to make the cake pop a bit. So, and then I need to melt some chocolate, because it's going to be a chocolate drizzle cake, and put it in here. So let's get going. Okay, so I've got these all sorted. I need these for now. And then so what I need to do now is roll out the icing, and yeah, that size is perfect. I'm not sure what size that is, but yeah, we're going to do that and make them thick, and then put these, attach these onto the icing so they're a little bit thicker, because these are actually just paper, so we want to make them a little bit thicker. So that's good. So we're going to move these over here for a moment. Roll out the icing. Okay, so I'm going to roll out my ready made icing. I'm going to put some icing sugar down onto the table and just work it a little bit because it's quite hard, and then just roll it out as even as I can possibly get it. I just keep moving it around, and because you've got icing on the bottom it doesn't stick, and then cut out all my circles, which was still a little bit uneven, so I just re-rolled a couple and recut them. Then all you need to do is, once you're happy with your shape, get a little bit of water and put the stickers, transfers, icing sheets on top. Just be careful, because if you use the wafer thin ones like I have, the bleeding can happen if you put too much water on your icing. But these look okay at the moment. Some of them didn't really adhere to the icing well, so I just turned them upside down and let them be. Okay, so the next stage then is to put the drizzle on the cake. So again, just melting some chocolate in the microwave, and then I'm going to put it in my little container. If you don't have one of these containers, then all you need to do is just use a spoon, and you can drizzle the top of the cake with a spoon, which I've done loads of times, but I got these from Amazon, or should I say JP did. Look, and as you can see, you just melt them down, melt the chocolate down, and just drizzle over the top. Quite simple to do, really. It's quite effective. I've left my cake look quite rustic looking, just because it just looks good, and it's fine, and it smelled amazing, smelled delicious. So yep, just go round. You could use white chocolate, you could use dark chocolate, you could use pink, all the lovely colours of chocolate that you get, but it's just quite simple. You go around and you just let it drizzle. I would really recommend you trying one of these cakes. They're so simple to do, and they're forgiving. So if you do make a few mistakes, it doesn't even matter. It's fun. You're baking at home, and that's what it's all about, having a bit of fun. And what's better than a cake made from you, that you know, show the love to the person that you're giving it to. Home baked, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to let this all dry, because look, this is what happens when you get the paper fondant sheets, the paper sheets. They're not fondant, they just, any bit of water or moisture, they just go mint. Oh, I hate them. That's why I put them on fondant, but hey ho. So what we're going to do, I'm going to let this all dry overnight, and then we will commence decorating it in the morning and finish it all off. But I think it's going to look awesome. So we've let the cake set overnight and it's firmed up. Okay, so this is my front. So what we're going to do, we're going to put something like these on top. I want to balance them on top. Got him a marble candle. So what we're going to do is stick these. Melted some chocolate. See if they stay up. The likelihood of them staying up may not happen. So what we can do, we can put some chocolate on the back. Oh. Don't do it too hard. Okay, I've just stuck this one on here. his favourite. I've put a little bit of oil in my chocolate to help it become a little bit more spreadable. Oh, and it's a little bit drippable. Oh, that's not so good. Look, it just dripped. So you just got to be careful with that. I'll pick that all up in a minute. Okay. Looking good though, right? Oh. Everything's still a little bit soft. I'm going to put some on the back. Even though we're not going to eat any of these, but it just aesthetically looks good. Don't forget, hit subscribe, like, notification bell, leave some gorgeous comments below and support our little channel, please. It would be most appreciative of you. And I hope you're enjoying this. So while we're still in semi-lockdown, more cakes are going to come along until we can go around and travel. So love to hear your comments on this one, and we'll speak to you all soon. Chocolate just to zhuzh it up a little bit more. A couple more chocolates and then I think we are probably done. Oops, just put that one down there. And I like to do threes, but I'm not going to be able to do a three. Do we want one up here? No, I don't really. Do. Right, we'll put another couple down here. Right, last one. I could put this one here. I could put it on top actually. That'd probably look quite cool. Put it on top. And there we go. Oh, and a little bit, I know this is for a guy, but I have to do a little bit of glitter. A little bit of glitter, zhuzh it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Why not? It's just for Luke, so I'm going to do a little bit of glitter. Oh, it just looks so good. And voila, une finished cake. I'd be excited if I got a cake like this. No one's ever made me a cake or given me a cake, so I hope he likes it. Let me see what he thinks.
You done? So you got out?
Happy birthday to you, squash, tomatoes and stew.
Is that all cake?
Yeah.
That's massive.
No, I actually, you can see the little bit of connection actually. Just that is cake, that's not and that's not. Because I thought it's too much cake for all of us.
You can never have too much cake.
But it is all chocolate, Cadbury's.
It's deceptive.
It's Cadbury's
There's
chocolate.
Like a tiny bit of cake and the rest is polystyrene.
The top is
That's cake.
Yeah.
Right in there. Why isn't it bigger?
It is, look, it's huge.
Why is it not all cake?
It's huge.
Are you challenging me to eat a cake that big?
Do you like it?
That would fit. It's a lovely thing.